Good evening and welcome to the November 28th, 2022 Board of Volunteer Firefighters. I call the meeting to order and it is 5:30 p.m. And with us tonight we have Councilor Garrett Christensen, City Clerk Dina Dean, Fire Chief Mark Carrera, and Volunteer Firefighter Anna Meehan. So the first item on the agenda is approval of the March 21st, 2022 meeting minutes. Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
By Councilor Christensen, second by Chief Carrera to approve the March 21st meeting minutes. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay? So the meeting minutes pass. Next item on the agenda is review and consider former volunteer firefighters Halstead's claim as provided under RCW 41.24.210.
I can introduce that one if you'd like. I did submit a memo to the Board of Volunteer Firefighters. So this request came in about 6 or 7 months ago, and then I gathered some information for the firefighter that had turned in the claim or the request about. Originally, it was a request. He was looking for reimbursement for treatment that he had received. And so I reached out to the Board of Volunteer Firefighters at the state level, and they informed me that they would likely deny this claim for the reasons stated in that. So I provided the volunteer with that level of detail, and obviously he wasn't satisfied with that. That didn't make him happy. It was, I think $500 with treatment that he had that he thought the city should cover. But it was a statutory timing issue that the state really needs to fix, especially with regards to PTSD related claims, because they come so far down the line. So we reached out, got that official. He turned in his claim to the state. The state responded to the city, denying the claim, and now this is being presented to the local board as an option to either accept or deny the claim. I had a conversation with the city attorney because there's obviously a lot of tentacles that go on with claims like this, with lost time, work time from his work, and potential future things down the line. It made sense to me to make the recommendation that we deny the claim and follow in line with what the state does. Now, the state did provide some additional options for Chris. He could rejoin a fire department, become part of the Board of Volunteer Firefighters again if he goes on an incident that triggers the PTSD, then it would be covered for him. Another option may be, is Chris was a long-standing volunteer. The firefighters do have an association that's a nonprofit. They do have a benevolent fund that you could approach them to see if they would be willing to person for that as well. Chris and I have had a few conversations about his claim, and we had met beforehand, as I mentioned, in this is one of those unfortunate situations that we weren't made aware of until after Chris. In fact, there's a lot of fire chiefs who aren't aware of this, because I've had this conversation with a lot of my colleagues, and I'm going to make a proposal to the State Chiefs Association about wanting to change this. If Chris was a career firefighter, he would have to show multiple events over a 10-year period of time to actually have treatment covered by the Life Disability Board. So it's the other end of that spectrum, right? Here, if it happens within 1 year, you have to seek treatment that year for it to be an open claim down the line. And that's our plan in fire departments. Whenever our volunteers now go on these critical types incidents, fatality wrecks, cardiac arrests, offer them treatment through a psychologist or a psychotherapist, document that, submit that claim to the state, and then now that opens their claim for the rest of their life if anything happens down the road. So unfortunately, that's not the situation, but Chris does have a few options. I can answer any questions if anybody has. I know Anna just got some of this information as well, so if you've got any questions, you can obviously ask us.
Questions?
If not, I can make the motion for that claim.
That's my question. I'm just going to say it's a really difficult situation.
Yeah, and again, I think it's important to remember we're denying this claim. It doesn't mean, obviously that. In fact, my conversation will be with Chris if he wants to come back to the project. Try to go about that way. as well. I may be back here in a couple of months with a request for this plan, but you can still submit for those later, is my understanding.
When did the actual incident occur?
2012, I believe.
Oh, it was 2012.
It was in March 2012. March, he knows the exact date, which is not uncommon.
Any other comments or discussion?
Sure, yeah, I make a motion that we deny the response.
Concur and second by Councilor Christensen to deny former volunteer firefighters full steps claim. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Unanimous. Denied. Former volunteer firefighters full steps claim. Moving on to 2023 annual disability and pension fees.
Just the names of our volunteer firefighters. So this is a pretty standard thing that we do every year. They've moved it up to 8 though, so that we can get it approved before the end of the year and submit next year. There's two things that the Board of Volunteer Firefighters does. One is there are basically our labor and industries insurance if the firefighter is injured on the fire ground. And then the other part of it is a pension program. We introduced a pension program back in 2016 for the volunteers, and we pay a portion of that pension payment every year as part of their remuneration to it. So the volunteer pays $30, the city pays the other $30, and then we pay obviously the insurance side of it as well. The reason why we split those payments up was because the volunteers, many of them leave before 10 years, and if they leave before 10 years, they don't vest in the pension system. And if the city pays the entire amount, then it stays with the pension system. If the volunteer pays a portion of it, then they can recoup their side of that pension system payment in a one-time lump sum. So if somebody's on for 5 years, they would get a check for $150 from the system. So that's the way that's the way we've done it from the beginning. And we pay that portion of it for them. And similarly with the insurance side of it, we cover those costs.
It is the same fee as this year.
Correct, exactly. Yeah, the dollar amount is, I believe it's codified in the URC.
Comments, discussion?
I can make a motion to approve that.
Please make a motion.
So move.
Moved by Schuster, second by Councilor Christensen to authorize payment for the 2023 volunteer disability and pension fee. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, nay? Okay, unanimously passes to approve the 2023 volunteer disability and pension fee. Is there any other business to come before?
I have no other business for the board.
There's a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Right. Second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye.
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 You're adjourned.
Thank you, Anna, for jumping on this. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.